Back talk. I'd like to resume the meeting if I can. And tonight, at this point, we're going to have our second speaker, who will be performing speech number 7 from the competent manual, Toastmaster manual. Its subject is research your topic. The speech will be 5 to 7 minutes, and it is called Sensory Integration on Roller Skates. Occupational therapist Barbara Smith has worked for over 25 years with children and adults who struggle with learning and are easily overwhelmed by the many sensations they encounter. Today, Barbara is going to talk about how the brain uses its information that come from our sense organs to make sense of the world. She will demonstrate how her own good sensory integration helps her not only to enjoy roller skating, but continuously learn new and complicated moves. With that, I'd like to introduce Barbara Smith, Sensory Integration on Roller Skates. Welcome, Barbara.
I don't usually wear roller skates during my presentations. However, today, I'm going to use my roller skates, hopefully without falling, to talk about and demonstrate sensory integration. How many of you are familiar with this term, sensory integration? A little bit, not too many, well, someone a little bit, okay. Sensory integration is the organization of sensory information for use. Our brains take in sensory information through our sense organs, and you're probably familiar with several sense organs, such as the eyes for seeing, the ears for hearing, the nose for smelling, and the taste buds that let me enjoy a good cheese pizza. My skin is another sense organ that covers my entire body and not only tells me where I'm being touched, but also enables me to make discrimination so that I can tell you that the leather on my skates is smooth and that my wheels are gritty and need a good cleaning. Many sensations flow into our brains much like streams flow into a lake. The brain then directs that information much like a traffic policeman directs cars. The brain organizes that information to form perceptions. For example, if I look at someone's round head and I see 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, that doesn't mean anything to me unless my brain tells me that I'm looking at a face. That information that I'm looking at a face, that interpretation is called perception. Just to clarify, perception is the meaning that the brain gives to sensory stimuli. And perception is subjective because we don't all interpret information the same way. That means that if I like the song, the Beatles song, All You Need Is Love, someone else might interpret that song to be repetitive, boring, even irritating to the senses. At least that's what my father told me years ago when I was a teenager. There were 2 other senses that I have not yet mentioned. One is called the vestibular sense, which is sometimes called the balance sense, because my body reacts when my center of gravity changes so that I don't fall over. The vestibular sense organs are located inside the inner ears, and they respond to changes of my head position. Perhaps, and also when I skate faster, when I skate slower, or when I suddenly stop. Perhaps the strongest vestibular stimulation occurs when a skater spins. In fact, spinning is so powerful, it can cause a person to become dizzy or nauseous. Another sense that I use a lot when I roller skate is called proprioception. I forgot to show you vestibular. We're on proprioception. This term comes from the word proprio, which is Latin for one's own. The proprioceptive sensory receptors are in my muscles and joints, and they tell me where my body parts are and how they are moving without even looking at them. I receive vestibular information when I fall, when I knock into another skater, or when I jump. In addition, the weight of my skates provides additional proprioceptive stimulation so that I'm very aware of what my feet are doing. My brain's good sensory integration enables me to coordinate vision with movement so that I don't whack another skater when I extend my arms and legs. And as my brain organizes sensations, I can move to the rhythm of the music or respond to the touch of my dance partner's hand. I am demonstrating pretty good sensory integration right now as I look at the audience, move my body around, and speak to you all at the same time. As I roller skate, my brain organizes sensations so that I can learn new, more exciting, more complex, and challenging skating movements. This makes me very happy. And that's what sensory integration is all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. That was wonderful. We enjoyed that.
Oops, now I can fall.